1844. Actually, later in 1844, there were 200,000 people who strongly believed that Jesus would return and participated with passion, selling all their possessions. And there were 1 million people who believed in that truth by joining that Millerite Advent movement. This was not just a small incident that happened in a rural area of the United States, but a spiritual movement that left a lasting mark on the religious history of the United States, not just United States, and to the world. And there were many people who joined to that movement also in Europe. At that time, the population of the United States was 17 million. Okay? It was a movement in which 1 million people out of 17 million participated. So people eagerly awaited the second coming of Jesus. But sadly, Jesus did not return on October 22nd, 1844, as you know. And many were lost in great disappointment. And many abandoned their faith. The largest group of the left believers gathered in Albany, New York, after the great disappointment. There was Miller himself, as well as some of the most famous preachers and leaders, including like Hines and many others. That's when Advent Christian Church was born. At that time, the church had 50,000 members in the Advent Christian Church. Almost all of those who remained after the Millerite movement joined to that denomination. They believed that the date was wrong. So they had tried to set another date for the second coming in 1850s and 1870s again and again. But they failed. After so, they have given up on setting a date for the second coming anymore. And they stopped preaching the coming of Jesus. They stopped waiting for the imminent coming of Jesus. The Advent Christian Church had been around for 180 years. And how much have they grown, do you think? Now, how many followers does this denomination have worldwide right now? They started from 50,000, right? Do you think they have grown to 500,000? Or even 1 million? There are now 25,000 Advent Christian Church members in the world. As the largest group after the great disappointment of 1844, they had both people and leadership and also the fortune and wealth. Right now, they have been in 180 years of regression, being reduced by half. Why would that be? They have lost their beginnings, and they have lost their first message and their first purpose of their church. They lost their message and their purpose of existence. Let's go back to 1847. There was the smallest group left after the great disappointment of the Millerite movement. At that time, it was a small group of less than 100 people. Who could it be? It was that group that formed the foundation of our Seventh-day Adventist Church.